Hi guys. So in a previous video, I explained how to go about selecting modes to use in your improvisation. So in this video, I'll discuss the next logical step, which is how to practice playing modes in your improvisation, so that you can build it up to something competent and sophisticated and interesting. Now this may take you a little bit of time to perfect because when thinking in terms of modes, we're allocating one scale per chord. So we're changing scales quite frequently, essentially every time a chord changes, rather than thinking in terms of keys, where we use a single scale over the whole song or a portion of a song, which is a bit easier. So using modes will require a little bit more thinking and preparation and practice. So firstly, pick a song that you want to learn to improvise over. I'll just be using section A of Fly Me to the Moon. Next, select the modes that you'll be using over each chord in the progression. A good place to start, and a simple formula that I often use, is use the Dorian mode over minor 7 chords, use the Lydian mode over major 7 chords, use the whole tone scale over dominant chords, and use the half diminished scale over minor 7 flat 5 chords. Now these are my preferred modes. Most musicians would probably lean towards using the Mixolydian for dominant chords and the Locrian for minor 7 flat 5 chords, but I find their sounds are a little bit sort of safe and bland, and I try to sort of pick ones that are a little bit more exotic, a little bit spicier, by using the whole tone and the half diminished modes. But it's entirely up to you, right? You don't have to use these, you can use whatever modes you want to use. But like I said, as a sort of baseline, I often use these as my starting point because they're nice sounding scales, but they still give that little bit of spiciness and get you away from sounding too diatonic and too bland. If you use these particular modes over each chord type, your solo is almost certainly going to sound at least a little bit interesting. Now the next step is to actually start using the modes over the song. So just play, the chords or a walking bass line or whatever technique you're going to be using with your left hand. I'm just going to play chords. And in our right hand, we're just going to be playing the scale using melodic continuity, so using swung eighth notes without stopping and without any rests, ascending for each scale, beginning from the tonic of each scale. Now that'll sound something like this. Right, so at this stage, that's not really an improvisation. All we're doing is essentially helping ourselves or forcing ourselves to memorize the modes and learning to play the modes, sort of just ascending and get them under our fingers and just sort of get used to how they sound over each chord and the transitions between them. Next, do the exact same thing but descending. Right, and so on through the whole chord progression. So again, using melodic continuity, starting each mode or scale from the tonic, but this time descending. Now the next step, the next thing you should do is essentially the same exercise, so still using all the modes that we've picked out, playing them using melodic continuity, but instead of beginning each one on the tonic at the beginning of each bar, try and connect them smoothly. For the moment, just play up or down by step, using one note at a time, not skipping notes or anything. But instead of jumping back to the tonic in preparation for the next chord, whatever note you finish on at the end of a bar or at the end of a chord, just go to the closest note in the next scale for the next bar. So that way we're not going to have these big awkward jumps, we're going to connect our scales much more smoothly. something like that. So I'm not jumping back to the tonic at the beginning of each new mode. I'm just linking it up to the closest notes in the mode based on wherever I've finished the previous mode, and just moving very smoothly, just up and down, back and forth, not doing anything, too fancy or intentional, but connecting the scales much more smoothly. Now this will take you a bit of time, but you will eventually just know the modes well enough to be able to do something like that. Now the next step is to do exactly the same thing, but also add in the occasional arpeggio. And do so even if the chord tone or the note in the arpeggio isn't actually in the scale. Like for example, the fifth of a dominant chord is not actually in the whole tone scale, which is what we're using over the dominant chord, but that's okay. Use it anyway as part of your arpeggio, then link back into the relevant mode that you're using. Something similar to that, again, melodic continuity all the way through, connecting each of the modes smoothly, so not jumping back to the root or anything like that, but this time also inserting arpeggios occasionally and connecting them smoothly into the next mode as well. Then once you're comfortable doing that, we do the exact same thing, but this time with even larger jumps of a fourth or greater, as well as the arpeggios, as well as the modes, and connecting all those things together smoothly. Anyway, something along those lines. Then, finally, instead of just using melodic continuity, we're going to use all the same ideas, modes, large jumps, arpeggios, but this time insert a bit of rhythm into our playing and play in phrases. So we're going to use the same scales, the same kind of ideas in that we're inserting, stepwise melodies, arpeggios, and large leaps, but this time we're going to play in phrases and change the duration of the notes so that we're inserting a bit of rhythm. Right, all the same ideas. Modes, arpeggios, using a variety of intervals, but this time playing in phrases, varying up the rhythm, using some triplets, longer notes, rests, those types of things. And finally, once you're comfortable doing all of that, you can add the occasional chromatic passing note to add further color to your improvisation. Right, something along those lines. And that's it. If you can do all of those things comfortably and competently, you'll be able to create quite an interesting, nice, and sophisticated solo using modes. Now this is quite difficult to execute and master, so just really take it one step at a time, kind of like we discussed here, and you will over time get much better at it and be able to create a really interesting and jazzy and sort of non-blandly diatonic solo that sounds like, a real jazz solo, something that you can actually perform and people will be like, oh wow, that's not just a major scale or a blues scale. There's enough variety in there to make it really interesting to listen to. Cool, and that's it. Thanks very much, guys. See you next time. Bye.